All right, so today we're going to do a new concept. It's solving multi-step inequalities. The steps are going to be the same as when we solved equations. There's only one step that we'll discuss that's different, but for starters, when we're doing simple ones, exact same steps. So if we were solving this, if it was an equal sign, so if we pretended that was an equal sign, we'd draw our wall. We ask ourselves which side of the equal or of the inequality, in this case, is the variable. X is on the left, so we need to move that minus 12. When we move that minus 12 to both sides, we're going to add it because we're going to do the opposite. Once we've done that, we're left with an X on the left side. We're going to drop down that inequality exactly as it was written above and put our 20. And that would be the end result. This is the answer to our problem. But notice the inequality did not change. All right, so now our problem just has more steps. So the first one we did, I gave you, was a simple one. Now we're moving on to a multi-step inequality. So again, I'm going to do the steps exactly the same as if it was equal. Sometimes I write an equal sign just because I want to pretend, but I'm just going to draw the wall there. So in this particular problem, again, I asked myself the first question, which side of the inequality is the variable? Well, in this case, it's on both sides. So that means I'm going to need to move some things. Well, since I have a 10n over here on the right side, all by itself with nothing else attached to it, and I have a 9n minus 1 on the left side, I'm going to move that 9n. So to move this 9n, I just need to subtract 9n from both sides. When I do that, as you know, this cancels out, which makes me happy. So I'm left with a minus 1. Again, just write down the inequality exactly as you see it above. 10n minus 9n is simply n. There would be my answer. Negative 1 is less than n. Okay, reading it left to right. All right, so this problem, we've done similar ones like this with an equal sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm still going to draw that wall. Then when I'm looking at this problem, I see 1/4 m is less than or equal to negative 17. When I look at that, I go, okay, so now I need to get rid of that 1/4 m because that's the only thing that's attached to the m. To get rid of that 1/4 m, I know that I can either divide both sides by 4 or I can multiply both sides by 4 over 1. When I do that step, my 4's go bye-bye on this left side. I'm left with an m. I bring down the inequality again, and then I do multiplication of negative 17 times 4, which is negative 68. There is my answer. I have nowhere else to go, and I'm done. All right, so in this problem, I've got multiple steps that I need to do. So first step, draw that wall where the inequality is. And again, you're always going to drop down that inequality. Next step, ask yourself the question, which side of the equal sign is the variable on? Well, right now, the variable a is on the right side. So I want to eliminate anything that's not the variable on the right side, which would be that 15. So I'm going to take that 15, and I'm going to do the opposite, which is I'm going to subtract 15. And what I do to one side of the equation, I'm going to do to the other side. Once I've done this, again, drop down the inequality exactly as you see it. Don't switch it. Don't flip it. Exactly. I'm left with a 2a on the right side. 21 minus 15 is 6. Now, we know the next step. The next step, I want to get that 2a to be a 1a. To get 2a to be a 1a, I need to divide both sides by 2. When I divide both sides by 2, again, my inequality stays the same. Now, on this right side, it becomes an a. 6 divided by 2 is 3. I am done with my problem. Nowhere else to go. All right, so again, here we have a multi-step inequality, so no big deal. First step that I'm going to do is the same as before. I'm going to draw a wall there where the inequality is, so I know I've got two sides. Second thing that I always do is I ask myself the question, which side of the inequality is the variable on? Well, the variable is right here, that w, so that means it's on the left side. I have that 8 that's attached to it that I have to deal with, and I also have this minus 13. Well, the minus 13 is going to be the easiest one to move, so I'm going to add 13 to both sides. Because, again, what I do to one side, I have to do to both sides. That's the rules of the game. I'm left with W over 8 on this side. My 13s have canceled. I drop down the inequality exactly as it is. And now I have negative 6 plus 13, which is a positive 7. Okay? So again, like before, I got to go with my next step. Well, my next step is I want to get rid of that 8. How do I get rid of that 8? I'm going to multiply both sides by 8, or 8 over 1. Same thing. I can put this over 1, put this over 1. And then I'm left with a W on this side. My inequality stayed the same, and 56. That would be the final answer to this problem, going step by step.